what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here at SEMA in Las Vegas for 2021, and of course, there is a ton of excitement at Toyota for this truck right next to me. This is a special truck that they're calling the Desert Chase Tundra, and it is built on a 2022 Toyota TRD Off-Road Pro. But before we get into this really tuned and modified truck, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota, they've been doing the business for so many decades when it comes to reliability and that dependability. Now, over the years, trucks are kind of newer to the Japanese brands. Toyota was the first company to really have that larger Japanese pickup truck. They called it the T100. Well, guess what? Eventually, a truck known as the Tundra would come into play, and it was all because of another brand that had a problem with Toyota calling that first full-size truck a T150. I wonder what manufacturer that was that would have a problem with it. But as the story goes, Tundra was the name, and now when you see this full-size truck from this iconic Japanese brand, I don't think of any other name that would fit it better than the Tundra. Now, we've already brought to you here on Raiti's Rides all the excitement about the 2022 Tundra. Many parts being totally revamped, totally redesigned, especially when it comes not only to exterior, not only the chassis, but what's underneath the hood, and then of course, what's on the interior. Now, the whole idea behind this particular vehicle is to really showcase the Tundra in a way of being, like the name says, a Desert Chase Tundra. What that means is that when you look at races, off-road races like the Baja 500, Baja 1000, teams need to have vehicles that go along the actual route that the racers are taking in case there's any problems or anything that might come into play. I like to look at this and say, hey, if you could spare no expense at your Tundra and turn it into some type of off-road beast, would this be something that would be thought about in your mind? So let's go ahead, let's find out what's going on with this Tundra. Does it have some of the amazing mods that you would want to see? And is this something that maybe if you won the lottery, you would build yourself? Let's dive into this Desert Chase Tundra TRD Pro and find out what's going on. So right off the bat, we have that redesign with the whole LED lighting. Now, when it comes to the headlights, I really love the way that they put that flared fender into play. Now, from regular production, remember the Tundra is wider to where they have to run those auxiliary lights because of the DOT regulations. But being that ultimate Desert Chase vehicle, we got to go a little extra wider because as we go around the bend, there's going to be some mods to the wheels and tires. And when I'm talking about tires, we're talking about 37-inch off-road tires. But I really love the LED lighting. I think one of the things that always was something that stood out in my mind that was super smart was having not only the corner vents for style, but also for that functionality. You could see the addition of the custom bumpers that were done really fits the overall character. And I'm telling you, when I saw this, my jaw just simply dropped. Now, when we look at that stock grille, when you go TRD Pro, remember, you get the heritage badging, and I'm really digging the white with our white exterior. Of course, you're gonna get that LED light bar in the center. Remember, that is something that comes from the factory to give that extra illumination. Forward-facing cameras, something always important when you're off-roading. And then of course we have the addition of that brand of light that has just been known in the off-roading industry. Rigid LED lights. Love the classic round look rather than going with the square or maybe a rectangle bar, having those round classic looks. The custom bumpers, you could see all the extra ground clearance plus all the suspension work from TRD. And remember, those that don't know, TRD stands for Toyota Racing Development, and they've been in the off-road industry for so many years. I could think back to when I was a kid watching stadium off-road truck racing with Ivan, the Iron Man Stewart. I definitely think this is one that he wants to get behind the wheel of. Now, as we rise up, there's those auxiliary lights I was telling you about. Those have to be added per the DOT. And then what's great is that you just have a stock hood. And it really looks super clean. My only thing that I would have liked to have seen were the heat extractors on both sides, but definitely the hood with the fender flares really gives it that powerful off-road muscular look. Now, as we come around the bend, here is what I was telling you about when we look at some more of the modifications done, not only to the suspension, because we have to have greater wheel travel, obviously, because a lot of these roads off-road are going to be really, really hard on the equipment. Method, we're talking about what Toyota does when it comes to brand. We have rigid on the lights, method wheels. These are off-road specific wheels. I love the TRD badging on them. Like I said, wrapped by these General Grabber 37-inch tires, and I'm telling you, that's gonna allow that wheel travel to get through just about anything. Another nice touch is with the flared fender, you also have the carbon fiber all the way around the opening, just to give it that touch. And I'm telling you, under the SEMA lights here, this is something that as you're walking, it kind of shines like a bright light, and you're like a moth to a flame, just drawn to this vehicle. You can see the size of the new Tundra, that blacked out A-pillar. I think that's a nice styling touch. You got, of course, everything else on your standard Tundra with your color match mirror caps. Love the rock sliders along the bottom here. You got that 4-door capability. And then, of course, we're gonna have the lights up on top. Those actually can fold electrically so that you could cut down on wind turbulence, cut down on wind noise. That light bar over there can actually fold down and really have that, like I said, all those things that you're gonna need no matter if it's light out, if it's dark, because the Baja 1000 doesn't stop when the sun goes down. They keep on running no matter what. Now, coming towards the rear bed, having that beautiful flared fender look, it really fits the lines of the new Tundra. Suspension, we talk about brand names, right? These brands have created their names based off of all this development, R&D testing, and racing. Fox suspensions, we have special dampers all 4 corners to give you that perfect amount of wheel travel and balance. And as we work towards the rear, of course, you're gonna need to have extra sets of wheels and tires. You got an off-road jack in there, all the things that are gonna be required, that if you have to service the vehicle on one of the routes, you have that capability right here with more LED lighting in the rear as well. And then I also love what they did with the TRD Pro name. They actually took the silver, sunken in there with the bright red, looks really clean, and then dropping all the way down, you could see how much room that we have with the extra height of this vehicle, that massive differential. And then, of course, spinning it around the back, you have your corner steps to get into the bed of the truck, and I'm really digging the staggered TRD Pro exhaust, nice and close to the body with the black finishes on it. Really has that thing like that. Like I was saying, if you are an off-road enthusiast and a Tundra enthusiast, let me know, is this something that you would be dreaming about to be that ultimate off-road truck? But let's go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering it. Guys, we got the hood popped, just like the stock 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro we already brought to you here on Raity's Rides. You got your hydraulic hood struts, and the big talking point, not only of this being a total redesign, but also being on a new chassis and what's underneath the hood. So what do we have? We have that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. Now, this one is the extra special optional engine. So what are we looking at? You have that iForce Max setup. So you're looking at 437 horsepower, 582 pound-feet of torque, and it's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Many people, I know, being those V8 enthusiasts, are missing the V8 power, but the great news is, even in standard form, this iForce motor produces more power and torque than the V8. And then once you go max, now we're pushing it to an all-new level to give you stock from the factory a 12,000-pound towing capability. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and touch again on what makes the Toyota Tundra 2022 edition new and redesigned. All right, guys, we're inside this SEMA build, that Desert Chase Tundra TRD Pro. I know you're saying, well, Joe, I could just imagine what the price of this is. I can't wait to get official pricing still for the TRD Pro because I want to put my order in at the dealership. I definitely want to make some modifications, but can you show, Joe, can you show me what the interior brings, not only for the 2022 Tundra, but what have they done to the interior here for the SEMA build? Let's go ahead, let's find out. To the door panels, you're still gonna get that great two-tone color style setup with the red contrast stitching and the red interior. I really think it comes alive having that different color on the interior, and that door pocket is massive. You'll easily be able to get that off-road meatball sub in there, plus a couple of drinks to keep you cool while you're doing your desert chase behind the factory race vehicle. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, that heritage badge, looking sharp, looking crisp. Love all the finishes, soft touch material. The biggest talking point for 2022 on the interior was the all new infotainment system, 14-inch infotainment system screen, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You got your AC, ventilated seats, and heated seats on a TRD Pro with all your connectivity, wireless charging. And then what are some of the additions? You can see we have that radio set up in here to communicate with the team car, and then you have this custom light panel pad that allows you to turn on all those rigid lights, fold the light bar up on the back, and have all that capability right within your finger touches, wireless charging. And then remember, this is going to control that 10-speed automatic that is new for 2022. All the other finishes are fantastic. And then to wrap it off, the seats did a great job. They're comfortable. Got the TRD Pro embroidery, red, and of course you got extra horsepower, 5 extra horsepower with the red seat belts. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this very special Tundra. Right, guys, business time behind the wheel. What's great about this Tundra obviously is the amount of space in here, and somebody who's driving this vehicle is going to feel really, really good and comfortable. Now for 2022, you do have an all new steering wheel with the TRD Pro badge, nice leather all the way around with the red stripe up top. And then guess what? You're gonna get that new digital display. You want 12 inches, you're getting that 12 inches of visual pleasure with all the readouts, interchangeable, and you could go through everything that you need. Plus you could also show, like I said, that boost gauge when you're using the hybrid setup, the whole 9 yards. And then obviously, when you look at all the switch gear, easy to get to, and those brushed aluminum brake and throttle pedal. But what's wonderful about this build is that the new interior is just that good that many of these pieces are totally stock. Now, I know you would want some on-throttle action in this vehicle. I definitely would. Not gonna happen today, but hey, you never know what might happen down the road, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. But until that day, let's wrap it up live here from SEMA. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a day here at the Toyota booth. I definitely want to thank Nick, Zach, Mike, the whole Toyota team being so accommodating for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this custom SEMA build. Let me know what you think. Does it have the right mods? Is this your dream Tundra for off-road capability? Put that in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making that great content just for you on the channel, click that link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Gotta give it to the queen of the camera. She is working hard at this Toyota display. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.